Hello, this is Professor Brown-Sederberg, and I'd like to take a quick look at assertions. Assertions are a great tool to look at the processing of your program. An assertion is a statement that evaluates to true or false. If that statement evaluates to true, your program continues to run. If it evaluates to false, your program terminates and an error message is sent. Now, I have a simple program here that you can see simply prints out to the screen line 1, line 2, line 3, 4, 5, and 6, those strings. You'll see that I have declared an int a and I've given an initial value of 0. I have here an assertion. I assert that a is equal to 0. If a is equal to 0, my program will continue processing. Notice I then have my line that prints out to the screen the string line 1, and here I'm incrementing a. I then print to the screen line 2, I increment a. I print to the screen line 3, I increment a. But here I have another assert, and I can have any number of asserts. I assert here that a is equal to, and that comparator is equal to 0. If this is true, my program will continue to process. If not, my program will end. I then have additional lines printing to the screen the string line 4, incrementing a, printing to the screen the string line 5, incrementing a, printing to the screen the string line 6, and incrementing a. Now I'm going to comment out that assert right there. I'm going to compile my program, and it compiles just fine. And when I run it, we'll see that I have those strings printed to the screen. My only assert here, clearly evaluated to true. I established a with a value of 3. I test it. I pass. My programming continues. I'm going to uncomment this line, where I assert that a is equal to 0. Now we know that at this line, a is not equal to 0. A begins with a value of 0, but I'm incrementing, incrementing, and incrementing. So here it became 1, and then 2, and then 3. A at this point has a value of 3. Let's compile my program, and it compiles just fine, and then we'll run it. Now I know that this assert, my first, will not end my processing of my program because it's true. My program will continue on. But now when I run, we'll see that I have some processing, but then my program ends and I am given a message, an assertion error message. So you'll see that line 1 and line 2 and line 3 printed out, and that's what I expected, this line 1 and this line 2 and this line 3. But at this point, a has a value of 3, so this assert fails. And with the failure of that assert, here I have an assertion error. So in the failure of an assertion, the fail of that line assert that we have right here, I have this, an error message returned. Now we'll deal with these errors in the second semester when we talk about exceptions, and this is really an exception. So an assertion is a way to look at the processing in your program to test at a certain point. And so I've asserted here and I've asserted there. Now, in order for asserts to work, your IDE, if you're using an IDE, has to be set. In Dr. Java, we go to Dr. Java and Preferences, and then here to the Miscellaneous, and you'll see that you must have this checked, Enable Assert Statement Execution. That must be checked or the asserts won't be executed. I'm going to deselect it, Apply, and hit OK. And now I'll recompile and run. And when I run my program, you'll see that it runs through perfectly because I have disabled asserts. So in Dr. Java, if you want to use asserts, go to Dr. Java, to Preferences, and make sure that this, under the Miscellaneous tab, is clicked, and Apply and OK. Now with JGrasp, it's a lot more complicated. And I copied in, and I'll put them here in some comments, the instructions. And they're a little more complicated for JGrasp. And you'll see that what you have to do in JGrasp is you have to go to Settings, let me find this, Compiler, and then Workspace. Click on this flags/args, and here under Run you click on the black square and enter in -EA, then OK and Apply. So that was, or Apply and OK, I'm sorry, Apply first and then OK. So that was in JGrasp, Setting, Compiler, Settings, Workspace, Flags, args, under the Run, but here under Flag 2 or args 2, click on the square to the right, enter in -EA, Apply, and OK. So this is a quick look at asserts. And an assertion is a way to test your program at any point in time, but you're testing a condition. If that condition is true, your program will continue on. If that condition is false, your program will exit and you'll have an error message returned to you. Thank you.